Assalamu alaikum, everybody, and welcome back to another story time today. And today, we're actually going to be talking all about the story of Prophet Noor, alayhi salam, and we are going to learn a little bit more about Prophet Noor. So, let's go ahead and get started. So, does anybody know anything about Prophet Noor? Prophet Noor alayhi salam actually came years after, almost 1,000 years after Prophet Adam alayhi salam. So he was from among the children, like the great grandchildren of Prophet Adam alayhi salam. And some people, they say that he was born almost 1,056 years after Prophet Adam's creation, or after Adam alayhi salam left Jannah. So, and during this time, the earth was still very beautiful and abundant, just like a large and amazing garden. And it had everything that everybody needed. By now, the humans or the children of Adam had now gotten used to living on earth, and they knew how to till the earth and build it up for their needs. And so for the first time ever, we started to see civilization on earth. And look here, we actually have a special guest here to join us. We have Mikael here. Assalamu alaikum, Mikael.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you doing today?
Good. How
Awesome.
are you?
And alhamdulillah, I'm doing fine. Thank you so much for asking. So, Mikael, today we're talking about the story of Prophet Noor alayhi salam. Do you know anything about Prophet Noor?
No.
No? Well, that is perfectly fine. So let's learn all about Prophet Noor together. So as we were talking about, Prophet Noor came after Prophet Adam alayhi salam. And some people say he came 1,000 more years after Prophet Adam alayhi salam. And during this time, we started to see civilizations for the first time ever. Have you ever heard of the pyramids? Mickey?
Yeah. You were built in the time with the pharaoh?
Yes, exactly. So the pyramids in Egypt were built during the time of the pharaoh. And we'll learn about that story later, inshallah. But that was also from one of the earliest civilizations. And just like we can see pyramids in Egypt to show us about some of the old days, we can also see some of the signs from these early days of the Prophet Noor and people after him. And there are some kind of old houses, cave houses and pyramids and other places such as Iraq, where you can actually see some of these early civilizations, like the oldest houses ever. That would be interesting to see one day, maybe in our next class. Would you like to see that, Mikay?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe inshallah in our next class, I can show you guys some pictures of some of the oldest houses ever from the earliest civilizations. Now, as great as this sounds that people were starting to adapt to Earth, it actually, something really bad came from it. And that is that Noah's people actually started to worship idols, astaghfirullah. They would create their own idols from wood and clay and give them names and then start to worship them instead of worshiping Allah. So some of the names that the idols were given were names such as Wadan and Su'a and Yahuz and Ya'uga and Nasra. So these were some of the names, or Nasran. These were some of the names that the idols were given. And these people, the people of Noor alayhi salam, actually believed that these idols could have had special powers and could give them things. And of course, that is a big problem. Mikael, do you know why that's wrong?
Because
Why is it wrong to think that some idol can give you a special power?
why why would they think it's gonna give them?
Yeah, why is it wrong to worship idols?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. Well, let's think about it. Who do we worship? Huh?
Allah?
Exactly. We worship Allah. And do you think anything or anybody else can give you the same thing as Allah? Do you think other things can have the same power as Allah?
No.
No. So if we want something, like if we want to get more money, or if we want to have a happy family or be beautiful, who do you think we should ask?
Allah?
Exactly. We should ask Allah. So do you think I can ask my phone for that, for more money? Should I worship my phone?
No.
No. Can I worship my TV?
No.
No, none of those things can give me what I'm asking for. How about if I ask my phone to ask Allah? Is that permissible? Do you think that can happen?
No.
If I say, oh, phone, can you ask Allah to give me more money?
No.
No, we can't even go to idols or any objects and tell them to intercede for us or to ask Allah for something for us. As Muslims, we pray to Allah directly and we pray to Allah alone. But Noor's people, who were the children of Adam alayhi salam, went away from the teachings of Adam alayhi salam and forgot to worship Allah. They started to worship statues, thinking that those statues were going to help them. So originally, they named their idols off of people who were great. So they wanted to remember their great-great-grandparents who did wonderful things. And after, when their great-great-grandparents died, then they would basically build these statues to remember their great-great-grandparents. Now, Mikael, how do you remember someone that's special to you? If you want to remember your grandma and grandpa, what do you do?
Talk to them.
You talk to them. Do you make cards for them sometimes, like thank you cards? Or gifts, or visit them?
Yes.
Sometimes. Yeah, that's nice to do. And when someone's alive, you can do that. You can visit them and talk to them and try to remember them. And even when they pass away, it's still nice to try to remember the people that's special to you. But it's not nice if you do that to try to worship them. Sometimes, even nowadays, some people will take pictures of people that's special to them and put them on their wall and worship those people. And that's not something we should do. That's not how we remember somebody. As Muslims, we remember people by trying to follow the good things that they did. So these children of Adam, or Prophet Noor's people, actually went away from that. And the more they went away from that, and the more they started to worship their ancestors, the more they started to be strict and cruel in their beliefs. And anybody who didn't follow the same belief as they did, they would cast them out and punish them and be cruel and mean to them. And that's not something we should do either. When we find somebody that thinks differently than us, what do you think we should do, Mikael?
Mm, tell them to worship Allah.
Exactly. We advise them and we try to teach them about Islam and tell them to worship Allah. But we don't try to beat people up and be mean to them and call them names if they don't have the same beliefs as we do. But Prophet Noah's people forgot about Allah and they didn't follow Allah anymore. And so they didn't understand the same thing as we did. So the idols, Prophet Noah's people were among the first people to actually start worshiping idols. And like I said before, these came from the whispers of the shaitan. And the shaitan made them believe that they were following the same way as their grandparents and that they would get something special if they worshiped these idols, that rain would come or nice fruit would come or that they would get money or a happy family. And nothing could be further from the truth. All of this came because of the evil whispers of the shaitan, as we spoke about before. And the shaitan will try to put something in your ear to let you to think, make you think that what you are doing something good, when in reality it is making God very angry. And then these people also believe that they followed their fathers, whatever they did, their fathers and their friends, whatever they did, whether it was good or wicked. If your friends ask you to do something bad, would you follow them and do it? If your friend asks you to would you do it?
No.
No, exactly. And why? Why do you think that's not a good thing to do, to follow your friends if they tell you to do something bad?
That is the evil whisper.
Yeah, see, your friends are listening to the shaitan. And now, what would you do? What would you say to your friends if they tell you to do something that's bad?
Tell them no.
Yeah, just like just like that. You can just tell them, no, I'm not going to do it. And you can also advise them and ask them to fear Allah and never to listen to the shaitan. They can say, no, friends, don't listen to the shaitan. You have to listen to Allah. You say, stop, listen to Allah. Can you say that with me?
Okay.
Say, stop, fear Allah, listen to Allah. Say with me, stop.
Stop.
Listen to Allah.
Listen to Allah.
Yes, that's what you say when people try to make you follow them and do things that you're not supposed to do. And why? This is very important to understand, because worshiping anything other than Allah will actually lead you directly to the hellfire. And that's a place that we do not want to stay forever. But Allah will be angry with us and will punish us if we try to worship anything other than Allah. And we have to remember that. Even if it's something that we really, really want to do, we can never try to worship or follow somebody or something with anything that goes against what Allah tells us to do. Now, Mickey.
Yes.
I want to hear your thoughts about this. What do you think? Why is it so bad to worship other than Allah, to worship somebody other than Allah?
Because
who is Allah?
The creator.
Exactly, he's our creator. And what does Allah do?
Creates things.
Yes, he creates things. What kind of things does he create? Does he create anything that we need?
He creates
Say it again.
He creates things that people pray for.
Yes, that is true. He does create things that people pray for. And he created air. He created the water that we drink. He created everything. So we show our thankfulness and we must obey him because Allah is the one that gives us everything we need. So why is it so bad to worship other than Allah?
Because he created everything.
Yes, exactly. He created everything and we're going against our creator. We're going against what Allah tells us. And that is making Allah very angry and showing a lot of disrespect for everything that Allah has done for us. So, because Noah's people were so bad and they didn't listen to Allah and they were listening to Shaitan and worshiping other than Allah, and they did not want to worship Allah alone, Allah sent Prophet Noor to the people to teach them about Islam and to warn them about the problems of not listening to Allah, of not worshiping Allah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Prophet Noor to teach the people that if they did not stop what they were doing, that they would be punished by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we are going to actually stop here for now and continue to see what happens next in the next part of our story time. And we're going to see if Prophet Noor's people decided to listen to him or not. Now, Mikael, maybe you can give us a little sneak peek. Do you think that Prophet Noor's people are going to listen and start worshiping Allah?
No.
No. Uh-oh. If they don't, I think that's going to be a big problem. We'll find out, inshallah, in the next story time. Thank you so much for joining us, Mikael. It was so fun having you with us. Jazakallah khairan. I'll see you in the next story time, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
And thank you guys too for sitting in and watching this with us. I hope that you had just as much fun as we did joining us in this story time. And I can't wait to see you guys next week where we will continue talking a whole lot more about Prophet Noor and his message to his people, inshallah. And with that said,